It's about a FedEx driver in Mississippi. And people are calling this Ahmaud Arbery 2.0. So it's just like Ahmaud Arbery 2.0. The only difference is the victim got away. That's because this victim of white terrorist violence had a vehicle and he was able to pull away, Johnson. He was able to drive away. That's the only reason why he's alive. So when I heard this story, a couple of callers to my show last night informed me of the story. I looked it up. I got some facts for you, some details to this. First of all, no one's exaggerating about the Ahmaud Arbery 2.0 label. That's a very sufficient label for what happened. This young man, his name is D'Monterrio Gibson, was delivering the package on January 24th in Brookhaven when he saw a white pickup truck driving towards him. Here goes D'Monterrio's words. He says, "In my mind, I'm thinking the driver's leaving to go to the store or something like that. But then they got extremely close to me and started blowing their horn. I proceeded to leave the driveway. As I'm leaving the driveway, he starts driving in the grass, trying to cut me off. My instincts kick in. I swerve around him and I start hitting the gas, trying to get out of the neighborhood. I don't know what their intentions are. I drive down about 2 or 3 houses. There's another guy standing in the middle of the road, putting a gun in my window. Folks, this young man delivered a package. That's it. He delivered a package. He did his job. He's trying to leave. They are trying to stop him because, black man can't be just doing his job. No, he's got to be doing something nefarious. It continues. As I stated, there was another man standing in the road. So one man was in a truck, a white pickup truck. And now there's another man that's in the middle of the street with a gun pointing it at him in his van. He's signaling for me to stop with his hands, as well as mouthing the word, stop. I shake my head no. I hide behind the steering wheel, and I swerve around him as well. As I swerve around him, he starts firing shots at my vehicle. I often ask myself, what is up with all these guys, these particularly white guys, who always defend the cops? Now I know exactly what it is. There's no reason to ask that question anymore. Because they all want to be cops. Yeah, they all want to be cops. They all think they're cops. This is their country. They do whatever they want to do. And since we're formerly enslaved, we're their property. And they can do whatever they want to do to their property. They're Americans, we're not. We don't have rights. It's their duty to treat us like shit. They're just being good citizens. These two attempted murderers, which is what they are, thought they were doing the Lord's work. They didn't stop to think, maybe this young man has a family, maybe someone loves him, maybe he has kids. They didn't give a shit. They fired into a vehicle over what? Even if it's the worst case scenario and he stole a package, they're going to kill a man over a package. Mr. Gibson said that he lost the duo only when he reached the interstate highway. He said that the police did not take him seriously when they attempted to report the incident and said that they had received a report of a suspicious person at the address. I reached dispatch and I let them know what was going on, and I only had a chance to get a little of the story out when he cut me off and it was like, "Were you at this address?" I said, "Yes." He was like, "Well, I just got a call of a suspicious person at this address." I was like, "Sir, I'm not a suspicious person. I'm just black." See, being black is suspicious. in Mississippi, in Brookhaven, Mississippi it is. It's also that way in Georgia. I forget exactly where Ahmaud Arbery was murdered. He said, I work for FedEx. I was just doing my job, delivering packages. Police said that the duo who chased Gibson had turned themselves in on February 1st. They've been identified as Gregory Case, who allegedly drove the pickup truck, and his son Brandon Case, who allegedly fired the shots. Once again, Johnson, the reason why we say it's just like Ahmaud Arbery's case is that it was a father and a son. And once again, here we are with a father and a son. This time, they were not successful. So they've been arrested, they've been charged with conspiracy and aggravated assault, respectively. They posted bail on $75,000 and $150,000 bonds, respectively. Mr. Gibson attorney Carlos Moore said on Friday that more serious charges, including hate crimes, are warranted in what they believe was a racially motivated assault. I want both of them charged with attempted murder. Mr. Moore was quoted as saying to the Associated Press, Mr. Moore told the Mississippi Free Press the case echoed that of Ahmaud Arbery, who was murdered by 3 white men while jogging in Georgia. He said it's just sad that this happens. It seems to be a copycat duo copying of the Ahmaud Arbery case. They saw this man was a black man, and they just hauled off and shot at him multiple times. At least his younger son did. The older guy tried to entrap him. They were working in concert to try to entrap and kill this man. I mean, they shot at him several times. It's amazing that he survived. No commentary is really needed. I mean, we really don't need to go over this, do we? Because there's no one that's going to watch me. A black man with a black hat, with a black wife, with a black house, with black kids. Nobody who watches me intentionally would have any other summary for this except this deserves the full brunt of the law, the 4 charges, every damn bit of it. We got to stop vigilantes from going after us. So when I talk about this racism in America, I talk about systemic racism, who do you think I'm talking about? See, people always, now we're gonna, let's go a little bit, an extra level, because there's no one watching me who's gonna say, these guys did the right thing. Obviously, they did the wrong thing. Obviously, they need to go to jail. Okay, we're past that. Let's take this further. Let's make this be a learning moment. When I talk about racism, I often get pushback. Yeah, I get pushback. Because there are people that love to hear me shit on Joe Biden, but they don't want to hear me talk about black shit. And to them, me talking about racism is black shit. But folks, when I talk about systemic racism, when I talk about racism in this country, I'm talking about these types of guys. These are not one-off situations. This shit happens. They walk around in their heads with these beliefs. They're black guys are not human beings. They don't have wives and children and mothers and dreams and goals. They're not like them. Because if these white guys thought they were like them, they wouldn't have tried to kill him. This is what we're dealing with. You know, while we're preoccupied with conversations over who used the N-word, this type of shit is happening every day. This is happening every day. That's why I say words are not as important as actual actions that are going on in the real world. These assholes just saw the Ahmaud Arbery case. It meant nothing to them. Did not affect them in the least. Gave them no pause. No pause at all. Saw a black man and did the same goddamn thing. that the Travis and Greg McMichaels did. Took the law into their own hands and went after a motherfucker. Yep, didn't hesitate. Did not hesitate. And before you tell me, oh, they're just there's some poor misunderstood guys. Yeah, there's some poor misunderstood guys who were able to come up with how much money? How much was the bail? $75,000 and $150,000, respectively. So that's either $175,000. Oh, I'm sorry, $225,000, or it's $22,000, something like that, because it's 10% or something. I don't think I could raise $22,000 if I needed to right now. So we got redneck killers with access to loot. Because as bad as people as they are, as horrible as individuals that they are on the inside, somewhere they make money. It's profitable for them. And what I want you to let you sink into your mind here for a second is that these people have jobs or businesses, they're a part of their communities, and they are racist as fuck. So when I talk about racism, I talk about people's mentality. Remember that the people that I'm talking about exist. We know they exist. And guess what? They're in businesses. They are school teachers and doctors and lawyers and managers and companies. They're HR department heads. These people walk among us. And you know who they have control over or they have authority over? People that look like me, Johnson. And see how they think about us? Now, I don't know how many black people, these white people, that white people deal with on a daily basis that have authority or positions over them in society that can fuck your life up. Okay? I'm not talking about criminal shit. I'm talking about while they're doing their jobs. I wonder how they treat black people when they have to deal with them professionally. You know, job applicants. Loan applicants. Someone trying to get enrolled in college. I wonder how they treat black people, generally speaking. Because we know how he treated this 24-year-old D'Monterrio Gibson. Like he was that, a young man. This dad has a son. His son's name is Brandon. But he did not see D'Monterrio like he saw his son. No. There's a big difference, isn't there? I wonder what that difference is, Johnson. I'm going to be keeping my eye on this case. That's what I do. I keep my eye on cases. The charges need to be accelerated and raised. Obviously. And now that it has publicity, because people are talking about it, it probably will. In fact, I know it will. But see how the system works? If they could keep it quiet. So when we talk about sometimes people say to black, what good is talking about shit? It's important to talk about shit because that leads to publicity, which leads to pressure. People do all types of shit to you if they can do so discreetly. But it's when it gets publicized that it becomes a real problem. All right. Go to jail, Johnson. Go to jail. Go to goddamn jail.